Good morning, everybody. So today we're going to be concentrating on Article 2. So this is lesson number 11, and we're starting on Article 2, which is the executive branch. So we'll start off on Article 2, Section 1. Now, just be aware that this is a long section. Section 1 of Article 2 is very long, so bear with me, all right? Section 1, the executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years, and together with the Vice President chosen for the same term, be elected as follows. Each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the whole number of senators and representatives to which the state may be entitled in the Congress, but no senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or profit under the United States shall be appointed an elector. So what does that mean? That's the electoral college system, all right? So we have checks and balances in this government, in our in the form of government that the United States has. The form of government we are is a constitutional republic. Remember that. We are a constitutional republic. We have an electoral college system that makes sure that the states and the states with the large cities like New York and Los Angeles and Chicago, those big, huge cities that take up a large population, don't control the rest of the country. You know, they call them flyover states like New Mexico and Kansas and Oklahoma. And so all states should be represented equally, okay? So how do you do that? How do you ensure that it's not going to be majority rule, right? That's what a democracy is. A democracy would be exactly what I'm telling you. A democracy would be if Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago decided the fate of the rest of the United States because they are a majority, so the majority would rule. That's not the way we're set up. We're set up with an electoral college system. All right? Now let's go into that. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for 2 persons to whom one at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves, and they shall make it a list of all persons voted for, and of the number of votes for each, which list they shall sign and certify and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House of Representatives, open all certificates, and the votes shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes shall be the President. If such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed, and if there be more than one who have such majority, and have an equal number of votes, then the House of Representatives shall immediately choose by ballot one of them for president. And if no person have a majority, then from the 5 highest in the list of said House shall in like manner choose the president. But in choosing the president, the votes shall be taken by states, the representation from each state having 1 vote. A quorum for this purpose shall consist of the member or members from 2/3 of the states, and the majority of all of the states shall be necessary to a choice. In every case, after the choice of the president, the person having the greatest number of votes of the electors shall be the vice president. But if there should remain 2 or more who have equal votes, the Senate shall choose from them by ballot the vice president. Okay? So let's continue. The Congress may determine the time of choosing of the electors and the day on which they shall give their votes, which day shall be the same throughout the United States. No person except the natural born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible for the office of the President. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who shall not have attained to the age of 35 years old and been 14 years a resident within the United States. So think about that, right? The Congress, right, the Senate and the legislators, they don't have to be born residents of the United States. They can live in the United States a certain amount of years, become citizens, and eventually become representatives in either the House of Representatives or a senator from the Senate, right? Not with the President of the United States. You have to be a natural born citizen once the Constitution was adopted. Now obviously, right, the way they worded it was for the time for when they were writing the Constitution. That's why they said 14 years. There is no 14-year residency. You can't come here, live 14 years as a resident of the United States and think that you can become a president of the United States. You have to be a natural born citizen. In case of removal of the president from office or of his death, resignation, or inability to discharge the powers and duties of the said office, the same shall devolve on the vice president, and the Congress may by law provide for the case of removal, death, resignation, or an inability, both of the president and vice president, declaring what officer shall then act as president, and such officer shall act accordingly until the disability be removed or the president shall be elected. The president shall, at stated times, receive for his services a compensation which shall neither be increased nor diminished during the period for which he shall have been elected, and he shall not receive within that period any other emolument from the United States or any of them. So what does that say? That says that the President of the United States, upon his death, resignation, or removal, the Vice President then becomes the President of the United States. Now, if something was to happen to both of them simultaneously, then the Speaker of the House would be the President of the United States. Okay, there's a chain of command, and that's how it works. Now, what does it also say? He is entitled to a salary that is set forth by Congress, but only for the period of time he's there. He can't give himself a pay raise. And even if Congress was to raise the president's salary, he himself, whoever was sitting in the office of presidency, could not receive that salary unless he was reelected to another term, at which time he would be eligible for that salary. But not until then, not while he's sitting in office, right? So, and emoluments. An emolument is something, so you can't receive stuff from the government as when you're the sitting president. You can't receive emoluments. You can't receive those extra pays and stuff, gifts to you, because then it looks like impropriety, right? It looks improper. So let's continue. Before enter of the execution of his oath, he shall take the following oath of affirmation. We all take oaths in the military. We take oaths of office when you get elected. We take an oath as a police officer. Here's the President of the United States oath, right? Here it is. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Now, listen to what that says, right? I'm going to read it one more time because this is the end of section 1 and this will be the end of the lesson for today. So think of this, your oath of office. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So with that being said, my question for you today is on oaths of office. I want you to research an oath of office and give me a definition of an oath of office, okay? And what does that mean to you? Taking a solemn oath, because it says right here, solemnly swear. You take a solemn oath in front of witnesses that you will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So tell me what your thoughts are on taking the oath of office. This is your Constitutional Minute. I thank you for tuning in. God bless you and have a fantastic day. Looking forward to your responses.